Searching podcasts for Dave and One More Time.
In this episode of Dave and Juan More Time, in honor of his wedding anniversary, Dave tells the story of how, why, and who was responsible for their wedding rings not quite making it to the actual wedding. But hey, at least the lead singer of INXS was on their honeymoon plane, and it's 29 years later. So, it all worked out. This is Dave and Juan.
I believe it's time to begin it.
Man.
And
Fancy.
3.
Number 2.
And 1.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I don't know why. Hey, oh, hi. Just I'll you know it. We got to say it. It's almost another trademark these days. America. I mean, literally, don't sweat it. Don't sweat it.
We got you.
We got you. Look at us, America. Hey, you're welcome.
You're welcome, man. Look at this beauty before you.
You're absolutely welcome, man. Absolutely welcome. And same price as it was last week. So there you go.
Yeah.
I
we
mean,
might, yeah. If we increase, it'll only be an incremental percentage.
That's right. The economy's in the crapper, but we're not taking that out on you. I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. Thank you. Nobody cares, but just in case it's a Friday evening, right? We don't normally do these on Friday evenings, but schedules are, kind of missed it. So it's different. So this is, I'm guessing it's after hours, so we can cuss. I'm guessing this will be episode 91. The episode they started cursing like sailors. No, we're not going to do that. No.
Well, speaking of cursing, we talked about last week. We talked about the cat attacking, quote unquote, attacking my wife, and every time I mention that now, she calls me a word that begins with an A and ends with hole.
I hate when they call you an at-hole. That's terrible, man.
Yeah.
Cat scratch fever.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, so I'm glad she's recovered and doing well. As am I.
That's right. You took it in the solar plex.
Those of you that may be worried, my solar plexus are fine. I went to the gym today. I was reminded yet again that there is a directly inverse relationship between whether or not somebody should see you naked and somebody's willingness to be naked. I swear to you, it's comical. It's not the kind of thing I could ever take pictures of because we can never show the pictures. It's funny. I'm a grown man in my late 50s, and it takes a little bit for me to walk into anywhere and go, oh,
yeah,
like, man, stop it, dude, put a towel on. Oh,
well, I've never been to a nudist camp or nudist,
right,
whatever. Right. I've been to, topless beaches, but, well, beaches where people wear topless. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I've always imagined that anybody who goes to a nudist camp is no one that most people would want to see nude.
100%. 100%. Again, your
willingness to be nude,
right, is directly inverse to the world's interest in seeing you nude. Right, like everybody would think like a nudist beach must be like a sandals commercial. You watch a sandals,
yeah.
You watch a sandals commercial. No, literally, you cannot have body fat. I mean, that's got to be one. I don't care what age you are. We said this before, and I joke every time those commercials come on. My wife knows the joke's coming. I'm saying, ain't no body fat at the sandals. Apparently, man. No, I got a feeling that's not what it's like. But so anyway, so yes, I'm.
You're well.
Knock wood. I think I'm beyond the cat scratch stuff here. And before I forget, and this is the eve of, so happy 29th anniversary to my lovely bride.
Man.
Yeah.
So that's 93. Yep.
No,
quick math here.
You with your math, man. And I'm the one supposedly in finance. Get out of here, dude. you cracking that stuff out here. Yeah, but it's a happy anniversary to my wife, which is, I think this will be I think it's the first one. I'm sure sometime in the last 29 years. I guess I was traveling, whatever, but she's the one out of town
Oh,
for our anniversary tomorrow. Yeah, she's on a
well, I
retreat.
figured the reason you wanted to do this tonight was because you had big anniversary plans.
No, I got stuff I got to do in the morning, and we just, but yeah, I wish, but she offered that I go be a security guard at this camp. So they're going to this camp for it's a church thing. She works for our church. And so it's a big confirmation weekend. So they do this thing, and we belong to a pretty big operation. They got like four chartered buses of
wow,
confirmed. Oh yeah, people. Yeah, it's. I want to say we got a few thousand families, I guess, in our parish. I mean, it's a sizable thing. But anyway, so it's a big.
And what are you, like a junior now when you get confirmed?
It's later. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Dude, I got confirmed in the 5th grade.
Really? See, with me, it was 9th. It was all with us. It was.
I was tall.
It was. Well, hey, it was different back then. I think it's and we made our communion as a group. I mean, but we've talked about this. It was funny growing up in South Louisiana. Those of you that aren't in South Louisiana, you just got to understand. All religions are welcome. But there weren't that many. I mean, there was
no. I remember because I went to Catholic school, and this one girl came and she was Baptist. Deidre was her name, and everybody's like, "Oh man, Baptist? What's a Baptist?"
Baptists won't wave at you in the liquor store. That was always they're just like you. They just won't acknowledge you in the liquor store. That was the old joke. I'm not. I hope if Baptists watching this is no offense taken, but take it from me. I'm Catholic. You can't offend. Like, if there's it's one of those things too. Like, if there's a religion out there that is like 1000% okay to just say incredibly bad things about, it's apparently, but whatever.
Well, don't spark Kanye.
Hey, man, my man, I got to speak. I say got to. I never should say got to because it's a blessing, and I'm so happy to do it. And they're paying me to be there. I'm going to be at Missouri Bankers next week. So I'm speaking at the Missouri Banker Association, some annual thing in Kansas City, and I'm trying to figure out. I got to make a Kanye joke, and I don't know how to do it. I'm trying. I'm telling you, somewhere in the first 4 minutes of my presentation, I'm trying to work in a Kanye joke. But
dude, my son and I were talking about this last night. The man obviously has mental health issues.
You would think. Well, and here's why I would say that. And I'm agreeing with you. But what I'm saying is because his filter's gone. Right. I think he's at a point of he has so much money, although they're his net worth is getting. Here we talk about his net worth is getting destroyed. Okay, he might only be worth 500 million now. All right, but he doesn't have and he's in the cycle. You can always get away with shock. Get attention through shocking, and now it's like, oh man, there's a line. You kind of pass the line. You don't even know what you're doing anymore.
To me, it's the people like what's his name that got sued for Sandy Hook.
Alex Jones, man.
Yeah, so Alex Jones had him on this week.
No, yes, 100%.
And so that's my thing. Stop taking advantage of the man's mental state to pump your own show.
No, look, but let me, boy, I tell you what, this is going to be kind of, well, I don't man, that's a different level. This is where I wish I was an actual comedian to be on stage to talk to people, to work out a joke, because I don't quite have the joke yet. But it's like, okay, here's what I know. It's funny is when you say something that Alex Jones looks at the camera and says, "Oh yeah, I can't go there with you, brother." Man, listen, when you back Alex Jones off of the mic. Woo. And those of you who have no idea what we're talking about, I'm sorry, look it up. I mean, it's current events.
Don't get me wrong. There could be, a Kanye song playing behind me right now. I wouldn't know that it was Kanye.
I'm exactly the same way. Same thing with what's his face? Jay-Z. Right? Everybody, Jay-Z. Not a clue. Not a clue. And apparently I must know some Drake songs. They tell me Drake has a zillion hit songs. But not, there you go. So
Yeah,
maybe,
nothing against him. I don't know a lot of other popular music either. So
man, listen, you knocking on billionaire, or you get the billionaire, you're doing okay. But
Kanye did the what was that church tour he did a few years ago?
yeah, he can't. I think he was in
He
Houston.
came
In fact,
here. I think he kicked it off here. There's this there's a church here, and they've got like these 3 big old crosses just out right near the interstate, and that's where he did it. Because it's funny, that night, the night of that concert, there was a marriage conference at my church that we went to, and the pastor that was there for the conference said, "I can't believe so many of you chose so many of y'all chose me over Kanye."
man, listen, how do we go from talking about confirmation to Kanye and Alex Jones?
I don't know, because you differing religions.
We are like I'm telling you, man, this podcast is like a cow
like pasture a pinball machine
trail. It's a cow pasture trail, man. You know, it's true. You walk in a cow pasture, and where are these cows going? They just turning for no good reason. But no, my wife had offered, or not offered, said, hey, if you want to, be together on our anniversary. So they have like night watchmen or night guards at this camp they go up to
make sure they stick with their assigned gender.
Because let me tell you something. This is just the rule of numbers, man. You bring a few hundred teenagers, high school people to something like that, bruh. 3 to 5% are flat out diabs. They just diabs. Yeah. Well, and here's the funny thing. You were saying you went to a Catholic school. Well, I went to Galliana Elementary and Junior High. Those were Catholic schools. Think about this. We had religion class at school. Now, granted, it wasn't.
And I bet you it was Catholicism.
Oh, yes. It wasn't like it was. It wasn't during school hours, but I want to say at one point, I want to say like on one day of the week we stayed an hour late because, and yeah, my communion class, my confirmation, was my class. Like it. Yeah. I still remember the only guy that I knew at the time. I was like in 2nd grade, 3rd grade. We had a guy come in, and man, we're old now, so I don't know. I hope this guy's alive somewhere. His name was David Morrell. Okay, so my name's Martin Morrell. They alphabetized everything back then. So this guy David was always behind. He's like, you know what I'm saying? They lined us up, right? Your homeroom was totally by your last name. So in Galliana Elementary, they probably had an entire class of Sheramies. I mean, like. Like one homeroom,
all the cousins.
One homeroom was all Sheramies. Oh Lord, that's the Just Claire homeroom. Oh yeah, that's all the Just Claires. Where's the Guidries? God, the Guidry. Well, anyway, so I was. I don't think there was a lot of M's. I don't know, but so I was the only Martin in my class. But this guy David Morrell, and he was a Jehovah's Witness.
Wow.
Now Now they came in. He didn't exist until 2nd grade. I think he showed up in 2nd grade, and I think he was there in 3rd grade. And quiet guy, And I'm trying to remember. I can still pick. It's funny, man, dude. That's like 50 years ago, and I still remember this dude. And I remember
now if he come over to your house to visit, knocked on your door.
Oh wait, I'm gonna finish. Hang on.
Pretended to not be home.
Funny, you bring this up. Okay, hang on. Put a pin in that. So I remember one time. David comes to school, and then he gave me a little book, like a little, I don't know what it was. It was kind of a little bit.
The Watchtower, man.
I might have been, dude. I don't remember what it was. And I'm like,
that U2 song.
What's that? And he's like, if you want to look at it, read it. I'm like, all right. I don't think I did. And then, like the next day, I think he asked me for like 50 cents for it or something. It was like. Luckily, it was still in my desk, and I said, "It's okay. I want
no refund, bro.
I don't want to read. Hey, this is back in the day when 10 cents could get you a candy and a Coke. So
and why would you want it to read anyway?
Man, listen.
Nothing against what he was giving you.
whatever. So I hope he's out there. Whatever you talking about that, right? And people joke about. So I'm on the road. Where am I? Anyway, last week before, I'm out of town, out of state, and I've got on my phone. So if the Ring doorbell. So if the Ring, I don't have it triggered like because too many things happen for. I don't want a ding or an alert every time anything happens in front of my door. But
Right.
if you ring my doorbell, it pops up on my phone, and I'm somewhere and it's usually the house in Thibodeau. It's usually about my mom's
Your
house. So
mom's house.
I want to come, but this time it's front door. Oh, they got to be. So I look and it's my house, and they got two dudes standing there at my door, and I'm like, and I know my wife's at home alone. Okay, I know she's in the house by herself, and I'm not going to get into descriptions. They were probably in their mid-20s, late 30s, and I'm just look, we live near Houston. You can't trust anything. So I'm just like, surely my wife is just gonna not come to the door or, pull the I'm good, thank you. She doesn't even know I'm watching because I didn't even hit, I can talk on the Ring doorbell.
Uh-huh.
Right. So I'm just saying, oh geez. So I'm waiting to she opens the door. I'm like, what? And I'm thinking, I hope you got a gun. I hope you thought, like, what are you doing? It was two Jehovah's Witnesses. And my wife welcomes a conversation. She like, if you come to my house preaching whatever, my wife will welcome you in and say, let's talk about it. She is the, yeah, hang on, I got to turn this off here. As I'm saying this, my,
Your Ring doorbell.
my Siri decided
Dude, your
something
Siri's having issues.
I think it's the headsets. I'm telling you, we talked about this last week. But anyway, she and I'm just so now I gotta watch this because I'm not there to do anything. I'm a little bit upset that my wife is standing with the door open. I know she's by herself in the house with two guys, and I wasn't listening, so I didn't know what it was about. Now it took me a little while to realize, oh, I bet they came here preaching something because that's her wheelhouse, man. She's like,
Now, does
and
she just take them in politely, or is it to have a deep
no,
discussion and comparison of faith?
she loves everybody. She basically decides that's when she talks about Catholicism. I mean, dude, one time I was gone, and it's funny because I only know about these things through Ring doorbells. And my son was here at this time, and a couple of the Mormons do their little deal, whatever.
Yep.
And two girls. You always see two guys. This time it was two girls. Two young ladies showed up. Man, brought them in, gave them snacks, like just chat, invited them back to dinner the next night. Like it's like I'm so not me, right? I'm like I don't try to be rude, but look, man, no, get off my doorstep. Hey,
you get in the mind. What do you want?
Yeah, hey, God be with you, but be with you somewhere else.
Yeah, my thing is typically, and I hadn't had anything like that around in years, but I've never been ugly to them, because I don't think you should. I just say, hey,
yeah,
respect what you believe. I admire you for your commitment to it and the effort to get out there. I'm good.
And that's probably, I know I'd be like, I gotta be hat tip. You put more work in today than I am.
Yeah.
I know we're all supposed to be, recruiting and, but hey,
out there evangelizing.
Shout out to you. Go with that. But so just word. I'm not giving my address, but if you show up at my front door, want to talk religion, you're welcome. I mean, if my wife's here,
Yeah.
If it's me answering the door, understand something. I've probably got a firearm within reach. I'm probably not opening the door. All right, I'm probably not opening the door. But if I do open the door, so just saying. But no, she's more than willing to chat with you. But she said, you're gonna appreciate the fact that I remembered where we started on this. She said, well, we can be together on our anniversary if you want to come be a night guard at this camp.
Yeah, and that's what you want.
Listen, I would love to. There's nothing that would make my day more than some rich private school kid trying to sneak out of a cabin at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning when we told you, no, bro, you in there till breakfast. All right. I would love that. But she's paranoid of what I would do. Apparently, I am not. I don't know. I don't fit there.
You're not a desirable chaperone.
Apparently not. Apparently, I'm inappropriate in my approach toward, because I'm old, man. I'm like you, dude. Back in the day, listen. When
I know what I'd have been doing.
Ooh, yes, but you know what? You know what the night guards or chaperones would have been back in our day, dude. You'd end up doing push-ups or sit-ups or washing a car, like you. Yeah. Now, oh, you can't, and that's her thing. She's like, oh no, you can't do. Can't. So that's like, but hang on a sec. Don't offer to let me be a night guard and then tell me all the things I can't do.
Right, because if I'm doing that, all I'm doing is looking for the stuff that's wrong.
Man, listen. I'm, you know me, Juan. I'm a problem solver. I'm a problem solver. And if the problem is these young men don't understand, right, boundaries, I'm here to show you boundaries. Right.
Up close and personal. Man,
listen, let's have a 2:00 in the morning boundary lesson. That's why I'm here. But whatever. So I graciously said, I say graciously, I don't know if that's the right word. I said, well, I guess I'm a tap out, boo. Love you. I'll take out. We'll text tomorrow and our 29th anniversary. So 29 years. Anniversary. No, I appreciate that, man. So 30th, we're supposed to be going to Key West. So hopefully this time next year, instead of me looking at you on my anniversary, although it's not technically my anniversary, it's tomorrow. But she already told me they've got a church thing next year that she doesn't come back until our anniversary. But I think we're going to fly out on our anniversary. Because 30 is a big deal. You got to do 30 up, 30s.
I mean, my wife couldn't tell you, I'll randomly ask her from time to time how long we've been married.
Dude, I'm the same way with my age. Like when I turn, so I'm 50, what am I, 57 now. So, dude, I didn't start remembering I was 57 until probably September. Like or like late September, not turning in August. It takes a while to go like, no, I'm 50. How old am I? We remember, the older you get, you remember the decades, or maybe like the half decades. In between, you're like, and also
the last age I really remember clearly, and this is an odd reason that I remember
the last age I really remember.
No, I mean that, or I guess changing age. I was driving down the road one day, and in my mind, like 28 was the difference between a young man and a real man.
28?
Just 28, just like, okay. At 28, I said, I can't say I'm a young man anymore. And so I said, oh man, I'm about to turn 28. Then I started doing some math in my head and realized I was only about to turn 27. So.
You know what? It's impressive that you remembered. Man, I was dumb. I didn't even know how old I was. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody feels their own, like turning like 30 and 40, 50 was nothing. 25 was a big deal for me. We might have talked about, look, we've been doing this a long time.
18 was, I can remember that because I could do, back in those days, you could go do whatever you wanted. It wasn't anything I could do the day I turned 18 that I couldn't do the day before.
18,
and I just looked at it as, oh man, I'm not mature enough to be, I can go get killed in a war.
That's a little bit of that, but I remember 20, for some reason, 25 felt like a big deal to me. Of course, I know I've said this before in the podcast. On 25, on my 25th birthday, I was unemployed and had mononucleosis.
There you go. Things were looking up.
I remember laying in bed thinking, whoo, man, I am knocking it out the park. I am doing
I didn't think it would be like this.
I'm laying in my bedroom in Cut Off, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Saying, wow, man, I am just, man, the world is just at my feet.
Yeah. 60 wasn't rough, but it was, it required some thought.
60 is so far in the future to me, dude. I can't even get my head.
I know.
Can't even get my head around it.
This is what I think, because I turned 61 in the not so distant future. And I was saying, man, I was still in my 50s when we started this podcast.
Wait, you were? That's true, you were.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. All right. We're losing all cool points. But
Yeah.
here's the point. Here's the deal. I'll promise you this. There is not a person under 30 that listens and watches this podcast. There's no
Oh
way.
God, no, I can tell you that for sure.
For sure, right? For sure. And I'm always surprised. I got to be honest. I get people that randomly reach out every now and then, or see somebody and they make a comment, and I'm just like, wow, you actually listen. Okay, good deal. But hey, 29 years ago, let me bring you back here because I don't think we're going to be the 30th we'll do it. So we're getting.
And where'd you get married?
We got married
Montague?
in. No, man. I tell you, we got married in Houma because my wife lived in Houma.
Y'all moved to Montague.
We moved moving on up to the. And I'm singing that song because it was recently Rolling Stone said that was the #1 theme song in history.
Better than Welcome Back, Cotter.
Better than Welcome Back, Kotter. I got to find, but yeah. Anyway, that's what. Yeah. So we ended up. I lived in Montague for about a year. We got married in Houma and my wife. That's I don't know if it's a South Louisiana thing, if it's a Catholic thing, if it's just a people thing, but you tend to get married at the bride's
Right, where the bride's from.
right.
In
And
her
it's
home
only-
church, typically.
It's only fair because they're paying for everything.
Exactly.
If you look at it that way, you can say, "How come the groom?" Yeah, because, and that's
Right.
that's another. Now I don't even know if that exists anymore. I swear
I don't know. My daughter's 15, and I keep talking about how cool it would have been to elope. Trying to plant those seeds in her head for.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if I guess it's tradition, but you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know around the country now if that's still what it was.
I think it goes back partly to where we're from, because I say most, church weddings are, I would think probably more common there than in other places. And so you go to your home church or the bride's home church.
Yeah, I guess. So that was, it was always funny, man, trying to figure out what the rules are. And I think we talked about this before, but I do remember prepping for the wedding. We had to have just finding a venue or something. So we got married on December 3rd and trying to find what was, what was available in Houma. And I can't remember the name of the place. We went to the auditorium or something. I don't know where we were. And I know my wife or whoever's going to hear this and going to be upset that I don't remember. I mean, I remember where it was. It was
you could have rented Fantasies, man.
It was. We were in downtown Houma, but I don't remember exactly what it. But it ended up being. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, and it's kind of funny. You think back how Southern weddings. I remember ferns. There was a bunch of columns, natural columns, and our friends, the Landrys she had ferns, and we bought. It was kind of funny. You just, you sort of like hillbillies, man. But it ended up being gorgeous. I remember we had to find a band. I didn't care. My wife wanted me to care. I'm like, because back then, I think now they must mostly go with DJs, but back then, you want to find a band. And I can remember going to some hole in the wall place to have dinner with my wife and my in-laws to listen to a band. Come on, y'all. Like, who would do that now? And I'm like, and part of my attitude was, y'all paying for this. I don't even want to vote. I know y'all don't believe that, but I seriously don't care. Like I trust whatever. So anyway, so it's a long way. It's in Houma, and we get there. So I had a plan going where I'll get all my groomsmen. We had a room at me and my wife had a room, not wife at the time, but room at the Holidome. Remember the Holidome?
Yeah, boy, y'all were fancy,
bruh. Right here,
right there on the corner of Tunnel and I forgot the other road, just down the street from the Ramada.
Yeah, man. But it was big indoor pool.
Ooh, yeah.
So
man,
had a room.
Romance going on there, man.
No, so listen, no. So no, I didn't see my wife that you don't see your wife the day.
Oh, you and your dudes had a room at the Holidome.
But it was our room for later. In other words,
Gotcha.
we were our flight, our honeymoon was in Key West. So our flight wasn't until the next morning. So it was you get married and whatever. So
you and Hutch, baby.
So that day,
Michael Hutchins was on your plane, right?
He was. Man, you jumping ahead. I wasn't even going to include that in the story.
Dude, that's the favorite part for me.
Michael Hutchin of NXS was on my plane going to Miami and then to Key West. But you know, God's honest truth. That's actually probably the highlight of the story. I'm telling the story. They're like, no, then somewhere along this story, Michael Hutchins of NXS is on my honeymoon flight. But we got the room at that day. So my goal was, because I'd heard all these stories about, you get groomsmen and everybody's drunk, everybody's stupid, don't ruin the wedding. So my whole thing was, do not ruin this wedding. Man, my in-laws are paying a bunch of money for this. Don't ruin this wedding. So I had all my guys there, and I'll call them out by name. There's Gavin, right? And these are all professional guys now. They got stuff. They're probably, I had Gavin, Lee, Raleigh, and I'm trying to remember the other guys. My cousin was an usher. When you got friends and you're like, well, I want you in my wedding.
Yeah, it's another South Louisiana thing. I don't have enough groomsmen, so I'm gonna let you be an usher.
Yeah, I want to say Lonnie was there. I'm kind of fuzzy on some of this stuff because I just remember the two key players in this were Gavin and Lee, because Lee was my best man. I'm sorry, Gavin was my best man. Lee was probably like a guy I was friends with the longest, but he was the first groomsman. Like he's the first one going. Gavin's my best man. We get there, man. Listen, we have a fun time at the Holidome. Nobody even drinks too much. Everybody's kind of hanging out, doing good. Yeah, I'm proud of myself. We all get dressed. That's the other thing too. I made everybody bring their tuxes to the hotel, so we all got dressed at the Holidome. So I know we're all here. Everybody,
man, you were being responsible.
Nobody's drunk. Well, they're drunkish, but not drunk. Everybody's got their clothes, let's do this. And we get over to the church, and I'm cocky. I'm like, I am nailing this. I am like, I am proud of myself for how I'm getting ready to like tell my in-laws, I want y'all to appreciate heaven and earth I moved to.
Y'all thought she was marrying something
That's
special.
right.
Look at this.
I know y'all doubted her choice, but we get to the church on time. I make sure everything's good. Now, granted, okay, I'm not gonna lie, my best man's wearing white socks. I can't help that. I don't know why Gavin didn't pack any black socks. I blame Dolly for that, but whatever. Okay.
Michael Jackson it.
Kurt, he didn't know how to do the cummerbund. He's looking a little bit disheveled, but whatever. We're good. We there. And I sent them all to the back. And I'm telling my my cousin Brian, athletic director of South Lafourche High School. I'm telling Brian jokingly, all right, man, you're an usher, but your job is, if one of these groomsmen dies or doesn't show up,
you're the first alternate.
And I'm making this joke to him, right? So he's laughing. They all back there getting set up. We get up there behind the church. We're like, yeah, me and Gavin hanging out like a minute from starting. And everything's perfect. Everything's beautiful. Everything. And as I'm standing there behind the church, getting ready to walk out with Gavin, but behind the altar. Hey, bro, you got the rings? He didn't have the rings. Now
Nice.
we are 29 years later. He and I, we went to New Orleans with them a few weeks ago. We're dear friends. He and I will look at each other and still debate. We will shut a bar down let's have a conversation of.
Too bad they didn't have those commercials where you throw the challenge flag like they have now. Huh?
Whose job? And you know what? That's how I can shut this debate down every time. All I got to ask anybody anywhere is, hey man, you're the best man in the wedding. What's your one job?
Bachelor party.
No, dang, John. Juan. I can't believe I do a podcast with you, man. You have my back at all. Everybody knows.
Then the whole thing is that you talked about how you had everything together. No matter how many things you had together, the one thing that could trump them all.
Exactly. I spent a day of knocking it out of the park to be standing. Literally, the music has started playing. Where's the rings?
And did y'all find them?
Oh man, you might have to hang around to the second half of this podcast. This would be a good pause. All right? It would be. That's what we're gonna do. All right, guys. That's where we are in the story. We are standing there. I should put some music in here. Dave is standing on the altar with his best man. In-laws. I want to say when this is coming to me, I think they're walking my mother-in-law down the aisle. You know, like that. All that. I'm standing there watching all this happen. Whew, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? My cousin, so Lee, right? Attorney Lee. Hey, look him up. Not. Don't give him the project I just gave him, but he's probably a great lawyer.
Probably.
He walks up, and I walk up and I grab him, and I said, and I had the hotel room keys. This is back when you had keys. You had keys to
So
the
they're
hotel
back
room.
at the Holidome.
Back at the Holidome. Now listen, we're probably 5 minutes away. Like from the church to the Holidome. Let's say I'll say 10. Tops. 10. Bro, I need you to go get the rings. He thinks I'm joking. I'm like, I'm not kidding. I need you to go get the rings. And he's like, oh, seriously? Okay. I think I'm about to give him the keys to my car. I need you. And he's like, where are they? Okay. And I even describe big blue suitcase. It's packed for tomorrow. It's in one of the side pockets, whatever. All right. I said, man, go. And he takes off. All right. So he walked his bridesmaid down, turns, and he leaves. All right. He leaves. So
Does anybody else know what's going on?
Well, what happens is he walks out the back of the church. He's walking out the back of the church as Cindy is walking in. And she sees him and says, everything okay? And Lee says, don't worry, Dave forgot the rings. Now, I want to say he was covering for his brother because, I'm saying, hey, no. I didn't forget Jack. That guy forgot the rings. But he says, yeah, he forgot the rings. So, and she thought he was joking. All right. She thought he was joking. So we're going to pause right here. Back from the break they didn't know we took. Was it a big one?
Yeah, it was a cliffhanger.
When we left you last, I got one groomsman leaving to go to the, and this was back before we had maps like Google. You had to like remember how to get there.
Right.
I don't think Lee was totally familiar with Houma, but I got that built in. And so everybody's coming down. And by the time my wife makes it down and so Gavin and I are standing on the altar. I don't think he's worried as much as me. I'm like white. I'm because my wife.
You got time, man. You got time.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Yeah, we do.
Tell a priest to stretch that sermon out.
Now here's the deal. In 99% of Catholic churches across the United States of America, you know what Catholic priests are not known for?
Short sermons.
Short sermons, man. I mean, listen, we know that. So you would think we had Father Freddie. And one of the reasons Father Freddie was one of the most, and probably still is one of the most popular priests in the history of South Louisiana is that man could make a point and get out. Like he, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't
no
up there
setup
thinking,
and follow-up required.
This guy, he was not thinking, I'm not getting paid by the word. I'm getting paid to make a point, improve your life, show you the light, whatever. I mean, like that's so anyway. So we got Fast Freddy. I think they used to call him Fast Freddy. Everybody loved Father Freddy. So anyway, but yeah, I'm like, hey, it might work. I want to look over at the the singers we got there saying, stretch this out, man. Come on, man. Let's get another verse. Come on. So it starts. And as he's standing there, Father, I look at him like close enough. I said, Father, we forgot the rings. And he looks at me and he kind of smiles. I said, I got somebody trying to get him forgot the rings. And he was the coolest guy. He just went, don't worry. It's happened before. We're good. And then and then so when Cindy comes, she looks beautiful, man. She's just like, it's like, so I'm saying this is your moment, dude. It's like you get married, your bride is beautiful, the church is packed, you got all your family and friends, it's freaking awesome. And I'm the only guy in the room that knows we ain't got no wedding rings. Here's what I realized. Here's what I learned after the fact, bro. You can have a wedding with no rings and nobody knows. Because think about it.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, I'm standing there thinking this whole freaking church must know we screwed up. Nobody knows nothing. So but I'm thinking Lee's gonna come running back in here, right? He's gonna come running back. Well, he didn't. I'll tell you why later. So it comes down, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking, and part of my head's thinking, oh, I'm getting married. Let me pay attention to this. I gotta do some vows and stuff in a little bit. I'm going through all this stuff. Man, there's my mom and my dad, and all my sisters and my relatives, and there's the in-laws, and there's all the friends. And in my head, I'm like,
pride you had as to how good you had done.
Man, it ain't working. It ain't working for me. I'm just like looking. Where's Lee? Where's Lee? He ought to be coming flying. I wouldn't even care if he came flying through the back doors of the church. He could have had that moment like
a movie entrance, swing those big double doors open.
I come running and dive and say, here I am with the rings. Okay. Time to do it. He's not there. All right. So you get to that point, right? You got that, the part during the Catholic, I don't know if everybody else does it, but Catholic masses, we do, comes down and with this ring, you got to say the thing, whatever. And I look over at Gavin, right? My best man. And I'm like, give me a wedding ring, bro. So he took his wedding ring off. Nobody sees this, and gave it to Father Freddie. And it's I'm the first. I guess I'm the first one on this. So Father Freddie does this thing, dude. The person videoing my wedding, all right. The guy I hired, by the way, he's a professor at Nickel State right now. He's a big dog now. Andy, shout out to Andy. His first paid gig was my gig. He's filming our wedding, and he's filming this stuff. Even he doesn't notice what's going on, right? So Father Freddie, cool as the, what's that Stuart Scott thing? He's cool as the
other side of the pillow.
He's cool as the other side of the pillow. Father Freddie takes my best man's wedding ring, and with this ring, I think I put it on her first, I guess, and then after just nobody notices when you just slide it on, and you slid right off. I never let go of the ring. Father Freddie takes whatever. And thankfully, Gavin, maybe he had some gumbo that day. It was big enough to get on my ring. I don't know, on my finger. And so my wife and I got married with Gavin's wedding
best man's ring.
He still got it. We were the other day. Every time I see him, I'm like, I got married.
Feel a little sentimental.
You're not the only guy that got married with that ring. I got it. All right. So
So where's Lee?
Tell you where Lee's at. Probably
should got a cool one at the 7-Eleven.
No. He got back to our room. All right. He gets in there. He decides he's looking at his watch. He knows Lee's Catholic. He's looking at his watch thinking, I got time. Oh, I picked the wrong guy. Right. I picked the guy that doesn't sweat anything. He gets back to the room, looks at his watch thinking, shit, it only took me like 7 minutes to get here. I probably got 20 minutes or so before I got to head back. He opens a beer, turns on the TV, and he's literally just enjoying a beer in my hotel room, watching TV, waiting to, in his world, it's perfect. I got excused out of a mass that I didn't want to be. I'm glad I'm here in the wedding, but wait, I got told I don't have to.
I'm getting primed up for the reception.
I don't got to listen to a sermon. I don't got to watch any of the frou-frou stuff. I'm just going to show back up, give him the rings. I'm going to be the hero. Then apparently he starts doing this before he even tries to find the ring. So, so then he apparently couldn't. He's having a hard time remembering what my instructions were. So we were packed.
No cell phone, text anybody.
Right, and we were packed for a week-long honeymoon. So when you pack for a long vacation or long whatever, man, you got suitcases
You got
that
it,
are,
yeah.
dude, they are tight. He emptied both suitcases. He found the rings. He shows up. We're done. Like, we're in the parking lot, done. Man and wife out of here. I didn't actually learn about the drink a beer stuff till like weeks later. Because he didn't share that right away, but he had the rings, and yeah, and everything. Look, after that, the reception was great. Nobody knew.
But so what do y'all do then? Just put the rings on?
Yeah, but my mom, to her credit, we about a month or 2 months later were at a baptism for one of my it must have been a nephew and niece getting baptized, and my mom flat out, and my mom, because my wife still jokes about this. My mom, like, in her head, y'all getting those rings blessed. Those rings weren't blessed yet. And I remember we did it. Some other church in Raceland, or not Raceland, or St. Charles, wherever we were, but had some pre.
There you go, man. Just throw a buzzing down on here.
Hey, man, Liz in her head, I think the whole time thought, hey, this deal's not closed yet.
You were living in sin.
Y'all got married and y'all got wedding rings. The priest didn't bless those rings yet, bro. So we did a twofer there. We did the but then my cousin Brian, who had come in, and I joked with him about, hey man, if one of the groomsmen don't show up.
Yeah, so he had to do. He subbed up.
He subbed up. He literally. So you were just an usher. Good thing you're in a tuxedo. Boom.
Man, it's the ultimate team. When one guy goes down, next guy steps up.
Steps up, man. So yeah,
next man up.
Was, but that's the thing. That's what makes
that's a good story.
Man, I hope so. It was about a 20-minute story I just told. But and then then we got back to our room and realized, wow, Lee did dump it. He even told me that at the reception. Bro, you're not gonna like what you see when you walk back to the room. I'm like, man, don't tell me that. I got back in. No, I didn't like what we saw. It was like, wow.
No picking up, I'm sure.
No, because then I don't know. I don't know if he has any panic in him, but so boys and girls out there of various ages, if you're on a time limit, you know what? Don't stop and have a beer.
If you're not on a time limit.
People are back there. People are back there waiting on you. And he was cocky. He showed up back saying, man, I know that they don't even do the rings till 45 minutes into it. I'm like, not with Fast Freddy. Not with Fast Freddy, bro. That guy's moving, man. But it was all good. Reception was great. And we all.
And 30 years later.
29. It's 29.
29.
We'll tell this story next year. I'll add stuff to it. I'll tell you. And then, the next, like I said, next day we get to the air, we fly out with, special appearance by Michael Hutchins of NXS on my flight.
Lord, that would have made my life right there.
I know. What? I guarantee if it was you, that'd be the only thing. You wouldn't remember the day you got married.
I wouldn't remember that I was married.
Man, you'd be. That'd have been like having Rick Springfield on a plane with you, man. Hey, notice that segue.
Notice that segue. So
those of you that are listening, those of you that are just listening and not watching, shame on you, because Juan's got show and tell.
So if last couple of weeks Dave's been bringing up some old music and stuff like that, so which makes his Facebook feed filled with old music. And he sent me a note this week about a song that was from 1971 or 72, like pretty high on the charts.
Yeah.
And most of you, if you know Rick Springfield, if you know us, we're both unashamed to be male Rick Springfield fans. But I guess Rick got popular like around in the early 80s.
My sisters were in love with him. I caught that in the early 80s, living at home, high school. All my sisters loved Rick Springfield. I had no idea who he was, but they were playing those albums.
He was on a soap opera and stuff.
He's right. General Hospital. They were playing those albums all the time. And, you hear it a few times. And then every now and then I'd be like, that's a pretty good song. That's a pretty good song. So I got sucked into the Rick vortex.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
Here's an album from 1992.
Woo.
Rick Springfield.
No, bro, 1971.
92, 71.
Wait, hang on a
So,
second. You just missed about 21 years.
yeah, I was close. So here's the back cover. Now I bought this probably in the 80s,
Really?
because I'm that big of a Rick Springfield fan.
Mhm.
And what I told Dave was, you got to figure it was at a time when I still, they had vinyl. I still thought of myself as pretty darn cool. Yet I was willing to go buy this album
Man,
with,
there you go.
big puppy dog eye Rick Springfield.
That was back.
Probably when he still talked with an Australian accent.
I'm sure he did. And that hairstyle is like circa like a Donny Osmond.
Yeah, Donnie with longer hair.
That big hair.
The feather with the, pre-moose, just big hair. This is not the album I brought when at that time I had my hair cut. And this is not the reference album.
Well, you saw that when I sent you something that showed up, and back when his first song hit in the States, they called him Ricky Springfield. Yeah, and it's funny. It's like it's one of those things, man. You kind of age yourself, but all these years later, I've seen him. I guess I've seen Rick Springfield. I don't think I've seen him 10 times, but it's close. I've seen him. I just total respect, man. Dude's still out there. I mean, like still
72ish, I think, and still out there doing it several times.
Yeah. So hey, props. I mean, props. Keep going at it. But he. So yeah. But we'll talk. Well, while we're saying that, we talked about this before we came on. Couple of from our childhood, and most people, our childhood, a lot of folks, most people listening to this, all right, past a couple of great rock people, or not pop. One was Christine McVie.
Yeah,
Christine
that
McVie
was shocking.
Oh, dude, she's 79. It's not shocking.
Yeah, I didn't realize she was that old.
Okay, that's a good point. Now look, we're at a stage now. When we were younger, dude, you got to 70. Anybody that passed away after 70, you were like, oh, they made it a good. That's a good life. And then we got better medicine now, and people go, so whatever. But so 79, full life. But that's one of those people that you hear like, oh, and you realize, damn, they were good. Like they were. People don't understand. I say people. Younger folks don't know Fleetwood Mac. Just like they were just for a few years they were.
Man, that Rumors albums.
Rumors, unbelievable, and the story's even better. And I guess I should make myself do this. I told you this before. One of my regrets is several years ago, 4, 5, 6 years ago, his last tour, Glenn Campbell played 10 minutes from where I'm at right now. And I had stuff going on, whatever. And I mean, again, Glenn Campbell was just, if there's any kids watching, Google it. Y'all don't know how great Glenn Campbell was. And Christine McVie was here in Sugarland, I think last year, with Lindsey Buckingham.
Oh, wow.
Fleetwood Mac was the most bizarre band in the world because those people were all married to each other, sleeping with each other, mad at each other, shooting at each other, cheating on each other, writing a song that I'm going to make you play guitar on.
Right. I love that whole story where it talks about, Taylor Swift writes songs about her, her ex-boyfriends. Said, Stevie Nicks wrote a song about her ex-boyfriend and made him stand on stage while she sang it every night.
That's right. Well, Christine McVie did the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that song, You Make Loving Fun, dude, that's a song she wrote about the affair she's having with somebody, one of the road guys.
Not John McVie. Yeah.
Not him. Not that guy. So shout out to those guys. Like I said, and rest in peace. And she was awesome. And I like the single stuff. She was just one of these underappreciated. She was amazing. Now, and she was actually, so the next person we talk about there's not nearly that kind of star, but so Christine McVie was great. The other one that passed away recently was Irene Cara, who, it's one of those things. And that's the thing about music. If you hit one song, if you
right song at the right time,
man, flash dance.
Well, because that whole, her look in that music video, that was the leggings, the ripped sweatshirt and everything. That started all of that.
Well, Right.
Maybe it
But
didn't start it, but it darn sure popularized it.
here's what's everybody confuses too. So, and she was, and Irene Cara was just a great looking woman, and she was just amazing. But everybody remembers that it wasn't her dancing in the tights, y'all.
Yeah.
And that actually wasn't Jennifer Beal, by the way. Jennifer Beal played the lead in Flashdance. But that dance scene where it's like the leggings, that's not her.
That was me.
That you had a nice butt. That was pretty tight.
I still do.
That
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But Irene Cara, yeah. So anyway, so she wasn't that old, man. She was like 63, I think.
Yeah.
I think I wrote it down. Yeah, she was 63. But so it got my brain working. So, Flashdance. And again, it's one of these things. There are songs in our younger days that still hold up. Everybody knows them now. Like you can, some of these songs you can slap on to a 21-year-old. They're like, oh yeah, I know that song. I like the song. One of them was always like Footloose. Footloose was always, and Flashdance, man, dude, you would be in your car or sitting whatever, and you'd hear it come on. Fast when there's nothing. Here's the genius of that song. Like they give you a chance to get, oh, damn, Flashdance is coming on. You can turn it up and you can play up to it because you're waiting for the dun, dun, you wait, you got about like 10, 15 seconds.
Builds to a crescendo early on.
And it's almost like the old Barry Manilow model, right? With Barry was always going to end up, when can I, you always know it's coming, but Flashdance, boom, right at the beginning. So great song. So I got curious. I pulled up and doing a little bit. So Flashdance, I think that song was number 1 for 6 weeks. And that was pretty big back in the day. But the first week it reached number 1, right? The first week it reached number 1. I pulled up the top 20. So those of you out there, so here's again, every time I read these top 20s back in the day, I always tell you the same thing. Music today sucks because this was, and I have a great friend of mine in banking, and she's wonderful, and she's about 10 years younger than me. So she thinks the 90s. She's always like, she loves the 90s. And I'm like, man, the 90s couldn't hold the jock on the 80s. 80s music was better. We always have that argument. So here's the top 20, bro. The week that Irene Cara and rest in peace, Irene Cara, the week she hit number 1. Here's the top 20. All right. Let me pull up my thing here, make sure I'm doing the right ones. Number 20 was She's a Beauty, the Tubes.
Love that.
Dude. Oh. Number 19 was I Won't Hold You Back, Toto.
Another good one.
No. All right. Number 18 was Der Kommissar, After the Fire. Remember Der Kommissar?
Oh yeah, I do. I don't know.
You didn't like that one? Oh, dude. That's pretty good. Number 17 was Hall & Oates, Family Man. I said, leave me alone. I'm a family man. You don't remember that one?
No, I do now that he's singing it.
Oh, yeah. All right. Hey, it gets better. Number 16 was Photograph, Def Leppard. Come on. To this day, stadiums are rocking to that song. All right. Number 15 was, now, I never really liked this song, but it was a hit. Greg King Band. Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Our love's
My
in
Love's
Jeopardy.
in Jeopardy. The Weird Al's version was better.
Number 14 was Styx, Don't Let It In. Don't let it in. That's Styx doing their ballads. Number what was this? 15 was Journey, Faithfully.
Oh man, there you go. Talking of ballads.
Oh man, but still a massive song.
Still holds.
All right. Number 14 was, oh dude, always something there to remind me.
Squeeze.
Naked Eyes.
Naked Eyes.
So you don't even remember, right?
Yeah, I
All right,
remember.
bro.
Been remade a couple times.
Number 15, The Week. Irene Cara hit number 1. Number 15 was Affair of the Heart, Rick Springfield. Bro, I'm telling you. Number 14, while we're doing hearts, number 14, Bryan Adams, Straight from the Heart. I'm telling you, man, great stuff. Brian didn't sing it as well as I did, but there you go. And dude, you think I'm making this up? I know. Okay. Number what was it? What I'm up to? Next one was My Love, Lionel Richie. Lionel was
Not
doing
one of his
everything.
better ones.
Yeah, you know what you're gonna do. Lionel was putting stuff out, and they were saying, you know, anything he put out was gonna be a hit. So My Love, let's see, that was number 9. Okay.
Wait,
Number 8. All right. What was that?
Is that the one with? That's not the song with Diana Ross.
My Love. No, I don't think so.
There's only you in my life.
I don't know.
No, that's Endless Love. I'm thinking of.
Whatever, man. All right. Number 8 was Culture Club, Time. Time won't give me time. Again, a song that you don't think's a hit, and you hear it, you go like, good song.
Yeah, I like
good song. All right, number what was that? Number 7 was Laura Branigan, Solitaire.
Oh,
come on. Laura was good. All right, so I made it. I said, man, this is a great list. Some you didn't like. We closed strong. All right, we closed strong. Number 6, Little Red Corvette.
Prince.
All right. Number 5, She Blinded Me with Science.
Thomas Dolby.
There you go. Number 4, Men at Work, Overkill. Now listen, that's a song. I think when it came out, I was like, yeah, it's all right. Today, go back. That song's that's a great freaking song.
When I was looking for this album, thumbing through, albums that I haven't looked at in decades, I have a couple of Colin James Hay, his album, the singer from Men at Work, who toured with Rick.
There you go. Yeah, no, it's one of those. It's funny, man. Like I said, Overkill. Like put it this way, if you told me, all right, hey man, Colin, he's gonna sing. You have him sing one song. That's a song I'm having him sing. Overkill's an amazing song. Number 3 was Beat It, Michael Jackson.
Oh, man.
Right. Number 2 was David Bowie, Let's Dance. Dude.
Love that song.
And then number Bowie. number 1 was Flashdance. I mean, come on, y'all. All right. This is where the 80s just has to say, hey, bring it. Look at what radio was. Look at the songs we had playing, and what y'all. I'm just saying. All right, old guy.
That's the whole thing. You could play. You could listen to music for hours and hours and hours at any given time without repeating the same song, and still being happy.
That's what I'm saying. A couple of, I don't know, we jotted down some stuff. What's some other things going on here?
I want to tell you about this commercial that I heard this week. So apparently, there's a runoff election here. I don't know if y'all have anything there. But a race that I'm not familiar with, I don't even know if it's in my voting area, but the Public Service Commissioner. Don't
even know what that is.
Yeah. They regulate utilities.
Okay.
So I'm driving to work the other day, and I hear, a commercial, and it goes, collect call from the state penitentiary. And then the radio announcer comes on. If you're used to hearing this call. So basically, I didn't even know there was still a thing is collect calls. But this person who is running for Public Service Commissioner is using regulating rates on collect calls from prison as her campaign platform.
She knows her audience.
Yeah. Families of incarcerated people can pay up to $17 an hour just to talk to them.
$17 an hour seems like a fair deal. I mean, that's
you're in jail
these days. Exactly. Most of them have cell phones, bro. They do. I mean,
No, but that's an interesting campaign platform right there, man.
I want to say,
I had to Google if you could still make a collect call.
Can you?
Yeah.
How would you? Okay.
You just do it, but I guess there's some number. Is there an operator?
It's like one of the things. It's like, is there any? Do payphones exist anymore? I don't even know. You never.
Dude, I was grossed out by payphones back when payphones were functioning.
Yeah, but there was a reason for them. There was a reason for them back then. But
I don't know. I used to call my house collect as a signal as to what time I'd be home. So I'd call collect for myself, and they say he's not here. I said, okay, well, tell him I'm gonna call back at 4.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Coming home at 4.
Well, you did what you did back in the day, bro. I mean, Everybody did. Let's see what else. I just jotted down some stuff here. We're not have to get to detail of it. We brought it up a couple of weeks ago. Apparently, San Francisco has approved the use of deadly force with their little robots. So that's right.
Did you figure out, are they remote control robots or just?
I'm guessing they are. But so I mean, apparently San Francisco can't figure out how to clean the poop off the streets or the hypodermic needles, but they can cap your butt. But there you go. So they can do that. What was the other things jotted down here? Oh, our dear leader, I guess yesterday, apparently the president, is it the president, the prime minister, the king of France, whoever?
Yeah, I don't know what he is.
Macron.
He was in New Orleans. Yeah, he was in New Orleans today, and they're celebrating that. I said, "Oh man, I hope he had good security."
Well, I saw a picture of Latoya. My friend sent me one of I guess Mitch Landrew was there.
Was that legit? Yeah, she was throwing some eyes at him.
She's throwing some eyes at Mitch. Like,
Mitch
hey,
is cutting her
bro,
off to get to him.
Hey, bro, I will stab you right here. Whatever, Macron. I can't hear his name without thinking of Macron, which is a Cajun slang for something you don't want to be. But yeah, anyway, so he was in DC, I guess, yesterday, state dinner.
Yeah, they had that lobster dinner, and apparently lobsters are, there's some environmental groups, probably the same ones who used to push for the TEDs down in South Louisiana.
No TEDs! No TEDs!
Who, I guess there's a whale excluder device that somebody needs to come up with for the lobstermen.
Well, my thing on that was, so our dear president, while he's reading poorly, calls France Frank. Like, no, I'm not. Oh yeah. Oh no. He's saying, and then Frank did whatever. doesn't catch it. Doesn't correct it.
Doesn't care.
You're at a state dinner, calls it Frank, and Macron is sitting there going, man, what happened? So yeah, so there you go. So congratulations, Frank. I don't know why you're here.
Yeah. I've got a Frank background.
Switzerland is passing something, or they're putting severe restrictions this winter on charging your electric vehicle because they ain't got enough power to keep the country going.
I'll do it, man.
Here's what happens here in Switzerland. It gets cold, and they just realize, hey, then they're smart people, so they shut all the petroleum and all that nasty,
all the stuff that powers that heat,
all that Port Fouchon juice. They got rid of all that. They're good, they're good. We are totally electric, because electric is magic. But now they're telling the people driving their little virtue signaling electric cars, hey, y'all can't charge these things because we're gonna freeze, bruh. We're gonna freeze.
Yeah, unless you want to heat yourself in the car as opposed to in your house.
Whatever.
Damn, baby.
And they got some other stuff, but you know what? We just throwing it up at it. The buffet's out there.
One time, man.
Not all the time. Let's push the button. Get on out of here, guys. If you want to reach us, we ain't hard to find. You know where we at. You know where we at, bro. You can reach us all over the place. You can hit us up at Dave and Juan at protonmail.com.
Right. Find us all over social media. Comment there. Yeah. We might answer it if you ask a question, or don't make no ugly comments because I'm gonna hide them.
Yeah, hide them.
What the heck? Yeah.
You tell me who makes an ugly comment. You tell me. I'm gonna go find them. Like that person I sent you stuff this week. Public service announcement too. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. We all have these friends on Facebook. We don't know who they are. Sometimes we do. You just do it because everybody, we want the community. But hey, listen, if you're having a meltdown and some family crisis, and man, don't post that stuff in real time. Whoever it is. I even sent it to Juan saying, I don't know this person well enough to reach out to them and say, stop. And I don't know why all of a sudden Facebook decides I need to read everything you post. But man,
you opened it, man.
Ooh, don't do that. If you got a couple of friends you want to talk trash with, do that on the text. Don't put that stuff on Facebook. All right, that's end of our social, our public service announcement on that. All right. What else we got to do?
Yeah.
What else? Oh, I know we got to do.
A little directive.
Y'all, Yo, we ain't advising, suggesting, implying, implicating, inferring.
Requesting.
Pull out the thesaurus. All those. We ain't doing none of that stuff. It's a freaking mandate.
Man.
That's right. You get out there and attempt. And when I say attempt, not a half, not like
Don't attempt like Lee attempted to go get the wedding the wedding rings at the Holidome.
I love when we can close a circle. Yes. Don't do a half-butt attempt where like, no. You get out there and try to have the best week of your life until we see you again. It starts with a great hour. You're welcome.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's all in the trend. You're trending up when you started with us.
You build into that. Something knocks you down. Get up. Go get it. All right. Come back here. You have the best week of your life. We'll get together next week. Talk about it. See how it's going. Right?
Yeah,
Something to look.
Nothing else to do. Simple.
Something to look forward to. There you go. So get out there, do it. And besides all that, man, hey, listen, we close everything off, dude. We got it.
Yeah, we're done.
So next week, I'm gonna tell you the Edwin Edwards story.
Still on the top of my list.
That's becoming like the seventh.
That's the cliffhanger of itself.
I know. One of these days, here's the deal. By the time I tell that Edwin Edwards story, I'm gonna have to like invent some stuff to make it worth the wait.
It's an evergreen story. Edwin's dead. It don't matter when we tell the story. I'm gonna
have to throw in like a knife fight, and man, we killed a Nutra, and whatever. But anyway, that's coming down the line. But anyway, guys, y'all have a fantastic one. Love you, bro.
Back at you, man. Whoa. Yeah. Everybody was kung fu fighting. That was a cool song.
Those cats were fast as lightning.
Oh, yeah.
What? You remember the next? In fact, it was a little bit frightening. But they something with expert timing.
There was Funky Chinaman from Funky Chinatown. He was chopping them up. He was chopping them down.
Dude, there you go.
Cool lyrics.